Alright guys, welcome back to the show. We're going over UFC 277. It's going on in Dallas, Texas. Pretty good card here. Pretty surprised by the headliner actually, but Julian Payne versus Amanda Nunes. And then we are this week, just for sharing the channel, you'll be entered to win select retail packs. Just go ahead and share the channel. Post it somewhere on social media. This is sponsored by Tampa Bless, Home Team Do Good, TampaBless.com. And you're automatically entered. We'll randomize it on the show. Alright, guys. Juliana Pena, 32 years old. She's 11-4, plus 225 favorite. Underdog. Excuse me. She just beat Nunes, and she beat Sarah McMahon before that. Before that, she did lose to Jermaine Durandamine. She's going up against Amanda Nunes, ranked number 1. She's 34 years old. She's 21-5, minus 265 favorite here. And before this, her last loss, she was on a 12-fight winning streak, and people were crowning her as the greatest of all time and stuff like that. Yeah, Tom, break it on down for us.
Man, this is tough, man. You kind of wonder in your mind, like, after it originally happened, I was thinking, this is going to be like a Matt Serra type situation where Serra beat GSP and GSP is going to come back and beat him, which GSP did. But, as time's gone by a little and I watched the conference and I saw the weigh-ins, they both hit weight. Amanda looks really slim because she had to cut down, Pena's confidence is up. And I don't know if Amanda is she's trying to be confident, the Lioness, but is there a little bit of a question mark in her mind, and will that play a role in this fight? If you would have asked me right after the fight, I would have said, yo, I got Nunes, no question, on the rematch. But the time's passed, and dude, I'm rolling with Pena. I'm rolling with the underdog, and I think she's either going to get it by decision or possibly a later round sub.
I like it. Guys, I'm pretty much seeing it the same way. I haven't got to watch the weigh-ins myself yet, but I heard there was some controversy that Pena didn't make weight. She waited till the last minute. Is there head games going on there? I don't know. I'm rolling the underdog here. I think this is going to be a very close first round one. I think Pena willingly eats those shots again. She tires Amanda out. I think she's one of those girls that really will fight for your money. I think when you're the champ and you're getting that big plus money like Pena is, it's just really hard not to like that. It's really hard not to take that. I think we see Amanda try to reserve that energy, but Pena just makes her work and makes her work too much. I'm taking Pena. I agree. I think it's a third round choke. I think it plays out very similar to the first one. It's just, like you said, you get that time to think, and once I get into the card market here, I'll give you guys a little bit of how I've always felt about Nunes. It's just how it is. But I'm just going to go over Julian Payne first in the card world. She's got some recently sold Black Shimmer. It sold for $600, which is peanuts. Pena auto right there. Yep. I see people asking some crazy prices for her early on cards, like 10K. Not even close to getting it. Recent comp 600, most expensive sold. If she wins this, I expect her cards to really pop in price. I don't know about that 10K price, but I think she's a buy right now. I think she is a legit underdog. Amanda had a lot of people calling her the GOAT, but the old Amanda came out in that last fight. I've always been fading Amanda until she was just winning so many times. I'm kind of like, she convinced me. She proved me completely wrong. And then as soon as I get on the bandwagon, what does she do? She becomes the Amanda that I thought she was the whole time. I think she's a buy, though. I think people really like her. I don't think she wins here, though. I think she had cardio issues in the past. I know she's been working on her cardio. She thought she can just steamroll everybody. I just think she's made a lot of money. She's became a mother, and I think a lot of things have changed for her. And I think Pena's just going to just force that pace, and we're going to keep seeing that Amanda of old, and where you can't just bully people into winning. And let's be real. Amanda would have lost to Durandamine if she didn't just out-grapple her and just smother her. If one of the refs would have stood her up a few times, Jermaine Durandamine would have won that fight too. So she was gassed. All right, but let's move right on. We're both in agreements. Pena for the win. All right, we got that flyweight interim title shot coming up. Brandon Moreno. He's ranked number 1 in the world right now. He's 28. He's 19-6-2, and he's a minus 215 favorite here. And his last 3 fights were all against Figueiredo. Loss, win, and draw. And now don't forget, right before that, he's got a decent win against Kai Kara France, December 2019. He's going up against Kai Kara France here in the rematch. He's ranked number 2. He's 24-9 with 1 no contest. He's 29 years old, plus 185 underdog here. He's on that 3-fight winning streak, beating Askar Askarov, Cody Garbrandt, and Bontarine. And he's been putting in some work with these guys. Tom, how do you see this one cracking up to be?
I mean, these are tough calls. I mean, just like the first one, it could go either way. You know, Moreno's never been finished. So I'm looking at a decision here, and I'm thinking it's going to go the similar route that it did the first time against Kai Kara. Brandon won the decision 2019, and I think he's going to win it again. I think Kai Kara, though, is definitely got a lot of confidence, and I thought Kai Kara lost his last fight, actually. But he came out on top in the judges' scorecard. He's got a lot of, momentum. Moreno, I don't think, has the same momentum, but I don't think Moreno is in a slump either. I think he still has confidence, and I think Moreno is going to pull out the decision win here.
All right, yeah, I pretty much agree in that statement right there. This fight, I think, is going to be a pretty good war. Honestly, I haven't gotten a chance to really do enough tape study as I normally do, just because I was at the Nationals this week early on. I really want to root for Kai here. I do. I want to root for Kai. I want to take Kai. I really just can't, though. It's really that Moreno's got one of those chins as his weapon, man. That dude does not fade, even taking the shots. He's got that crazy chin. Figueiredo's been able to sleep almost everybody when he gets a good shot on him, but not Moreno. Hasn't done it. Now, we've seen Kai's been able to get out of a lot of trouble in most of his recent fights. You saw him versus Bontarine. He tires him out. He was in some bad spots, but his defense held really good. Or you see him against Garbrandt. You know, if you don't have a chin, he'll sleep you. You guys got great hands. But Moreno doesn't have any of those issues. The Askarov fight, it was a very close fight. I don't know who I had winning. Honestly, I wasn't disappointed Kai won. I thought it was very close. I did. I thought it was...
Askarov was piggybacked on him for a while.
Yeah, I think...
But Moreno's not going to do that. Moreno will be down to square up with him.
Right. I think a lot of people did have Askarov winning. I thought it was really close. I wasn't disappointed with that. I wasn't thinking it was a robbery or anything. I thought it was close.
I didn't think it was a robbery either, but
I think, as you just mentioned, Moreno has excellent cardio. He's got a cast iron chin. He's not looking to go to the ground where Kai Kara is uncomfortable. These guys are going to look to probably slug it out. So as much as I want to take Kai, I think Moreno edges it out in the decision. He doesn't wobble when he gets hit most of the time. The guy's just a stud. The damage mounts on his face, but he just keeps coming forward. Really good effect in the judge's eyes.
Yeah, and the crazy part here is both these guys are under 30. Moreno's 28, Kai's 29. Moreno has just got a lot of wear and tear, man, for a 28-year-old.
Right. And another thing about Moreno is I've mentioned it a few times. He sits on the desk now, and he's learning a lot more. He's watching all these fights. He's the announcer for these fights. He's not missing anything. I think it really helps when you're with a bunch of guys going over the fights, breaking the fights down, calling them out, seeing what these guys' strengths and weaknesses are on a daily basis. So now that he's on the Deportes desk, I think that really helps him just for studying the game.
That's what's going to be interesting about Cheeto versus Dom, because they're both announcers.
Right. No, that's a great fight. Now, as far as the card market goes, I think if Kai does pull off a win here, you got to settle in on some new highs on his cards. The market's pretty soft as a whole right now, but I think he should get a nice little bump right here. Now, he was printed in 2020 tops, so don't be fooled by that Panini Instant Rookie. That's not true. He's already printed. I got a little spec buy on Kai Kara France, though, because he could get the upset here. And then he's a champ, right?
I also think he's a marketable type of guy.
Very
Like
marketable.
he's a fairly good-looking guy. Got a little bit of style. He's rolling with the camp with Style Bender
And he
and
wins by strikes.
Bull.
He's knocking dudes out.
Yeah. So I mean, he could. If the crazy part is if he wins and he goes for a title shot and somehow he gets it, you know, those guys are just going to be rolling in their
Well, I
glory over
mean, if he
there.
wins, this is for the interim belt, so he will be the champ, and he'll be guaranteed the next shot at the belt. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that'll be
so
crazy.
they'll
That'll be
have a bunch
crazy.
of yeah, like you said, he's very marketable. He comes from the camp with all the guys. They're already doing their thing in another country, which helps bring everybody into the sport. It's good. Now Moreno, as far as it goes,
He's also very
he's already
marketable, of
he's
course.
already a
Mexican
big
following.
fan favorite. Dude
Yeah.
always fights for your money. The dude's not in boring fights. Now he was printed in 21 Prism, and he already sells pretty well. He's a decent sell. You put him up, he's going to sell at the right price. Sitting on the Deportes desk, I mentioned it before, really grows his popularity, and this kid just keeps growing. And then, and then, I almost feel like they're setting this up because this could be Figgy, Moreno 4, one win, one loss, one draw, and then we'll have the fourth to see who is the ultimate champ at the flyweight division. So it's a little weird. I think Moreno is a buy. I think he gets this win here, becomes the interim champ, and then he fights Figueiredo again. And you know, Figueiredo's a great trash talker. He just does not speak English, so he doesn't get as much mic time as these other guys. But he loves to talk trash. Moreno just sits there smiling the whole time. It's awesome. All right, that's our opinions right there. Guys, let's move on to the heavyweights. Coin flip heavyweight fight right here. Derek Lewis,
Yes.
ranked number 5, 37 years old, 26-9, 1-0 contest. Underdog at plus 125. And his last fight was that loss to Tuivasa. Sergey Pavlovich, age 30, very young heavyweight here, 15-1, minus 145 favorite, 3-fight winning streak, and his only loss is to Alistair Overeem, who is an absolute stud in his own right, especially early on. Now he's a little older, but my God, Alistair was incredible at one point in time. Tom, how do you see this one breaking out?
Monster. I mean, the other thing to mention is Sergey, his last 4 fights were first round finishes. So you gotta assume, well, for me, I think it's gonna come down to the first round. Someone's going out. And I think Sergey's gonna go out. I'm going with Lewis. I'm going with Derek Lewis here.
You guys heard that? Derek Lewis. All right, listen. I am now, literally, I think this is close your eyes. You open them in 10 seconds, and you just see who's on the floor who got hit with that big bomb here. I think Derek has the one-touch power. I think Sergey also has the one-touch power.
Yep.
My whole thing here is why I'm picking Sergey Pavlovich is because if Lewis doesn't hit clean, I think Sergey can, I don't want to say weather the storm, but basically he can hit the one and strike back. And Lewis folds even if he doesn't get hit clean. We've gone over this many times. Lewis does not like to get hit. He's a quitter out there. I don't care. I know guys love him, but when he takes a little touch, he just does not like getting hit. He wants to do the hitting. He does not want to get hit.
Brock didn't like getting hit either.
Right. So I think it could go similar to Tai Tuivasa, where Tuivasa was rocked. Tuivasa took some of those hits. And guess what? He came back, he did the grappling move, and he slept him. That was one of the best elbows you're going to see for the heavyweight guys up there.
That was a good
And for
scrap.
that reason, I'm taking Pavlovich. No way do I love either man in this fight, though, because this can easily go either way. But for that reason, that Pavlovich I think he'll be able to take the shot and maybe try to just grapple at the knees or something. Where Lewis takes the shot, he's going to instantly do the cover and fold. Like we've seen him do in the Gone, he gets hit a little bit and he's claiming it was an eye poke. It wasn't an eye poke. He just does not like to get any hits to the face, man. The dude crumbles fast. All right, now card market goes Sergey printed in 2020 knockout. So he does have a rookie card floating around out there. I think the way the heavyweight division sits right now, it's going to be very hard to garner a title shot. But, I mean, you never know what the UFC will do next. He knocks out Lewis clean in the first round. You might just have to let this guy bypass some people. You just don't know. Or maybe Blades, you didn't really.
And there's not that many people to bypass past Lewis.
No, but Blades is sitting there saying he doesn't want to give up his rank, and they might say, "Hey, this is your fight. This guy is ranked with you now. You got to take it. You didn't even get hit in the last fight. You just don't know what they're doing." Like they said, that he wants to wait for Sarragon fight, but now you got this guy beating Lewis. You just don't know. So if he passes this test, I don't think you're going to find all those super cheap rookie cards sitting out there next week. He's a great spec play.
It's funny.
He's very young. You got to put the spec buy on him.
It's funny because that Aspinall fight with Blades was about to be straight fireworks. Like, they were about to go at it. Like, that's rare for heavyweights to come out that quickly and start hitting each other.
Well,
I was like, oh man, I was super disappointed that didn't continue. But it's crazy because Tom's on the ground almost crying. And, you know, it harks back to Conor McGregor when Conor's leg snapped and Joe Rogan's over there interviewing him. There was like almost a moment of silence for Tom Aspinall in the building. You know, and that was the same treatment that Chris Weidman got, and so did Anderson Silva. But when Conor's there, Conor's still so heated. He's talking smack still. Rogan's interviewing him. Well, he's giving the finger and crazy when he's going out in a stretcher.
Yeah.
They just there is definitely not the same treatment towards Conor. Like,
we're getting off
his
tangent
leg
here.
freaking snapped.
Let's keep rolling on here. We got
I know, but I'm just saying that's a little
Lewis
bit of
here
discrimination against Conor.
Is always a fan favorite. Not my favorite guy, though, but I know people love him. I just think he's just not good enough because he folds. He doesn't fight for your money every week. And for that reason, I doubt he ever becomes a champion because all those guys up there have the power to sleep guys, and he's not taking it. So I'm putting a sell rating on this dude while he's very relevant, while he's in the mix, while he is a fan favorite. Because once you don't ever get the heavyweight title, a lot of guys, except for a very select few, just seem to fade off. All right, let's move right on. Let's get right into the flyweights again. We got Alex Pantosia, ranked number 4. He's 32 years old. He's 24-5. He's a minus 175 favorite here. And he's on that 2-fight winning streak, beating Brandon Royval, who's a monster, and Manel Kopp, who's a future prospect right here. 2 very tough wins. He's going up against Alex Perez, ranked number 6, 30 years old, very young, 24-6, plus 150 underdog here. And his last fight was in 2020. Long time sitting out now. And he lost to Davison Figueiredo, the champ, in a fight that he definitely got choked in that guillotine there. But Figueiredo got caught with a big-time fence grab that kind of changed the position in the takedown for me. The ref missed it. I didn't like it. A lot of people forget about it. Big time. Figueiredo's grabbed the fence many, many times. Dude, I like Figueiredo. Dude will cheat to win. And sometimes they say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So, props to Figgy on the win. But I think Perez would have had a much better shot if that position wasn't changed with a hardcore fence grab. Tom, break it down in a very close, very good matchup right here.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of one of the guys that was pushing for Pantosia to have been in on the interim championship fight here because he had already beaten Moreno. You know, so they had him on the sideline for so long. Like, he's been fighting well. He had the loss to Askarov, but I mean, he's been fighting very well, and I thought he deserved his shot. He'll probably be up for it soon enough if he can get the win here, and I think he will. He's never been finished. I'm going sub round 2 or a decision Pantosia for the win.
Yeah, I feel this is a super close matchup. I just think they have the rightful favor here. I agree. Pantosia never been finished is why I agree with this. Because he's literally got clean, fast striking. He's got great BJJ. I think Perez has a small power advantage in the hands. I think he's got very good low kicks. I think he has the better wrestling. I just don't know if he's going to have enough power to go out and finish Pantosia, as you mentioned, never being finished. I really like both of them a ton, but I think Pantosia just is going to be able to out-scramble Perez in a lot of these positions and race him to the next position where his BJJ is going to just shine a little over, I think, Perez's strong wrestling game. I think we see a 3-round banger here. I think Pantosia's is got, like, the key to victory is just not being able to get finished here. And I just think that speed can do it for him. Now, as far as...
Plus, he's got some pretty good sub game.
Yeah, he's got very good sub games. Perez doesn't just get finished here. I think he's got 1 KO and 1 sub and then 4 decisions. So it's not like you're just going to go out there and dominate him. Like I said...
Oh, absolutely not.
But I think this could be fight of the night here. This is another scrap that I'm really looking forward to. These guys, I agree, this could be the interim title shot right here, too. These guys are both super talented. I mean, Perez's only recent win is to Figueiredo, and Pantosia has wins over all these guys. Pantosia's beat Moreno and stuff like that, so it's very, very close. I really like this fight here. Now, I'm going to go over the card market here. Pantosia, another guy printed in 2020. I'm just going to take a second here to mention 2020 was the last year of Topps' contract, and they did not produce a lot of product at all. They did the opposite. Panini's rushing out as much product as they can while they have the licenses for all the big sports. Whereas Topps kind of shut it down early. Very weird play there. So the thing is, the parallels are very rare, but a lot of people are holding the prism of these guys more valuable than some of these rare Topps cards just because Topps kind of folded in the year 2020. I'm just saying that. They didn't produce Chrome that year. They didn't produce Museum that year. A very weird little scenario from Topps. But either way, Pantosia, super talented, young enough. I think this guy can win a title. I think he deserves a title shot here if he gets a win. I got a clear buy on this dude. This dude is fun. This dude's exciting. If injuries stay out of the mix here, this guy is going to be very hard to beat. And Perez, printed in 2021, Prism, so cheap. If he wins this one, same thing I feel about him. I think he's a buy. I think he's super young. I think he's uber talented. I think his big thing also is he misses weight. He's got a lot of injuries piling up. He's just not active enough for people to truly fall in love with him. That's the way I see it. I think if Perez was fighting...
I don't think he's that young. Kai Kara France and Brandon Moreno are both younger than him. He's 30.
Well, he's 30. I mean, that's young, though. I mean, that's another solid 5 years of your prime. You know what I mean?
True. At that weight, though, he's not super young.
Yep. I mean, it's just how it goes. All right, let's move it right on. We got some guys claiming Amanda Nunes is going to maul Pena. I think I'll take...
That could happen.
It could happen, but I think I'm willing to do a whiskey shot challenge over that one.
Oh, I love it.
Go ahead and post it up there when this comes through.
Shoot us.
You want the whiskey shot challenge? You guys know I'll do my whiskey shots right on camera. Just say yes, I'm taking Pena to get that win. Whiskey shot on camera. Go ahead and say yes in the comments when you get it. All right, I think we lost Tom here. Don't know where he went. And yeah, some technical difficulties. All right, well, we're going to keep rolling while Tom sits on the sidelines here a little bit. We'll see where he comes. I'll give you guys the next fight. Light heavyweights. We got Magomed Ankalaev. He's ranked number 4. He's 16-1. He's 30 years old. He's a minus 540 favorite. Guys, that's crazy. He's on an 8-fight winning streak, and his only loss is to Paul Craig, the Bear Jew. And he last beat Thiago Santos and Volkan Oezdemir. Wasn't that impressive, those wins? I'm not going to sit here and lie. And he's going up against Anthony Smith, who's ranked number 5, 34 years old, 36-13, plus 420 underdog. 3-fight winning streak being Ryan Spann, Jimmy Crute, and Devin Clark. Guys, I mean, just really... I'm going to try to reconnect here with Tom as we're going, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to tell you, I think this fight line is not very accurate here. I think the stats are just way out of proportion for Magomed Ankalaev. I think the big advantage here for Anthony Smith is his ring IQ. Dude sits on the desk. He watches every fight. He watches every week. The guy knows all the guy's weaknesses, all the guy's strengths. Another thing I talk about a lot. I think the desk really helps a lot of guys. All right. And then, you know, he's got a ton of fights. He's got a lot of big wins. He's got a lot of recent big wins. I mean, Ryan Spann's kind of a stud. Jimmy Crute is a potential stud. A lot of big wins there. I think Magomed may just have too much power, too much speed. If he could stay on the outside and kind of point Anthony Smith up, I think that's his key to victory. I just don't know if he does that. The guy doesn't show great ring IQ. Look at Thiago Santos is kind of washed up now. Didn't look great there. Could have got finished there. Paul Craig, you don't go to ground Paul Craig. Volkan Oezdemir didn't look great there. I mean, Kutalaba fights were a little bit different. First fight ended early, premature. Second fight, he definitely finished him. But he just doesn't always play to the other guy's weaknesses the correct way. That's the only thing. All that being said, I think this is probably going to be a 5-round fight. Anthony Smith normally does his best work after getting beat up completely and then winning late in the round. I say 5-round. This should be a 5-round fight. But I think this is going to be a decision here, and I think Magomed is the rightful favorite here. I think he's going to knock Anthony Smith out in the second round. Do I totally agree with that? No, I do not agree with that.
I'm back!
I'm back. We got more technical difficulties here. He's coming in. There we go. All right, I'm going to wrap up this fight, and then we'll get Tom in on the couple last fights here. I think at the moment, Anthony Smith is a sell. For whatever reason, he gets no love. He's kind of like gatekeeper type of guy. He's just not that top-tier guy that you don't want to fight. Magomed's on such a roll. I think he's close to fighting for a title. His price is already pretty good price. I think if he can go and beat Yuri, you got to buy. For me, I don't think he beats Yuri. I'm going to put a straight hold on him. Tom, we'll let you just... Can you hear us, Tom?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Just give us who you got winning, Magomed and Anthony Smith here. We'll keep it rolling.
Yo, check it. My MacBook just died. I didn't realize it was so low. I plugged it back in and I had to get back on. Sorry about that, y'all. But I'm back. But I'm fired up. Whack! All right, so, I'm rolling with Lionheart here. Only loss by Magomed was to Paul Craig, man. He got subbed up. But, he's never been KO'd, Magomed. I'm going here, though, with rear naked choke, round 3 by Anthony Smith. Let's go.
All right. I'm also going to say we got another guy calling it out here, thinking Pena might have a rough go. S10 Draven, whiskey shot. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. You want to challenge me to a whiskey shot? I'll take the underdog Pena. I think you should have to do 2 shots for my 1 just because it's 2-1 favorite. But I'll go 1-1. You want it? You just mention it in there, and we'll do it. We'll do the whiskey shots. All right. I also really like Anthony Smith. He's got a good shot of getting that upset. You missed my whole breakdown, but he does have ring IQ as his massive advantage, I'd say. All right, but let's keep chugging right along here. All right, whole main card down. We're going to go over a few young prospects. We got Michael Morales, 22 years old, 13-0, perfect record, minus 600 favorite right here. And his UFC debut was a TKO over Trevin Giles, which is pretty damn impressive. He's going up against Adam Fugit, 33 years old, 8-2, plus 450 favorite, making his UFC debut here, but on a 4-fight winning streak. Sorry, I apologize. I can't really talk too well today for whatever reason. Tom, minus 600 favorite. How does this one fare for you here?
I have him listed as 23 years old, but I don't know. Either way, he's extremely young. He's kind of like a Mokaev. Mokaev is like 21, but this guy's 13-0 here. 23 years old, I have him listed. He's looking to be 14-0. I think this is going to be a punch out because this kid Fugit likes to throw down. So I think these guys are going to come out and they're going to throw down, and I think Morales is going to take him. Round 1, KO.
All right, Morales KO, round 1. I agree. All right, S. Draven said he stopped drinking a little bit there. If you want to do pack wars, you just shout it out. We can do packs. Whoever wins gets a retail select pack or something. You just let me know if you're that confident in Nunes. We'll take something else. All right, but right here, I think Morales is a true monster. I think he may not deserve a minus 600 price tag on him, But I definitely think he gets the win
crazy.
here. I think it's the same thing. I think he gets that first round TKO, KO, 11 finishes, 10 by knockout. Adam's been finishing guys lately too if you look at his record, but these aren't UFC caliber guys. Morales 22, one of the best guys. One of those guys we can see climb the ladder. But I think they should take their time with him. Don't rush this kid. 22, let him get that ring experience. I think Morales, though, sends another message here, gets that finish. And you got to remember, Adam is a replacement for Ramiz Brahima, which would definitely be a much bigger opponent here for Morales. So, for that reason, I also really like Morales. Some guys like the late, last minute, jump in there. They don't do a full training camp, but most guys want the true 3-month, 4-month, whatever they want for their full training camp. They don't want a couple weeks. Just remember that. This is a last-minute replacement here. No business cards. So, all right, let's go on. We got Eeyore Pataria, age 26, 19-2, plus 100, 15-fight winning streak, making his debut in the UFC here. He's going up against Nikal Nurmagomedov, who's 27. He's 12-1, minus 120 favorite here, and he last beat Kennedy Nchukwu and Isaac Villanueva. Tom, give it to us.
Look, man, these guys are young too. Nikolai, 27. Ihor, 26. No, I'm leaning toward Nikolai by decision here if he can avoid being KO'd. Ihor could pull out the old KO. I think that's his path, but I'm going to go with Nikolai by decision.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys, I don't love either guy here. Nicolau at 12-1. Probably should have lost his last fight versus Kennedy Nchukwu. That was very controversial.
That was a split.
It was split.
Close, yeah.
I think it was still controversial, and Kennedy lost the point for an eye poke. So Nicolau clearly wasn't going to win that fight if he didn't get a point taken away, or if Kennedy didn't get a point taken away. And I still think he deserved to lose. I think the guy got super lucky in there. I think Nicolau has a ton of holes in his game. He's very one-dimensional. I think Eeyore probably taking this fight more seriously than ever, being this is his debut. We know what he did in the Dana White's Contender Series, but he's got a lot of time off in between here. He's probably been training, probably been working on that wrestling, knowing what's going to happen. And I agree. These guys are both kind of sloppy, both kind of green. But I'm going with the underdog here. I think Eeyore gets the KO in round number 2 after Nicolau gets tired as he normally does. Now, guys, we appreciate you joining us.
Yo, check it. I got to reiterate, anybody watching this, if you repost this, as Mark always says, it's got to be reposted or in the stories. It can't just be sent on a text message. And you submit that to Mark. His email address is always in the details. You get entered for the select pack. Show them that select pack.
Select pack for anyone who goes.
Unopened pack, man. That's like a lottery ticket, son.
All right, guys, just
Compliments of Tampa Bless, man. You know I love y'all.